Since FIFA 20, every game in the series was a Legacy Edition on the Switch, which is essentially a roster update with a handful of other new features. The point is, I haven't been interested in FIFA, now called EAFC, on the Nintendo Switch, and I always opted for the PlayStation version so you get all of the features at 60 FPS. But now EAFC 24 is almost the exact same game as the next gen versions, running at 30 FPS instead of 60, and has obvious graphical downgrades. The question is though, how does the game play on the Switch? Is it viable in multiplayer, or will the handheld be relegated to a single player casual EAFC experience? I'm going to avoid comparisons to the next gen version as much as possible because I'm trying to focus on people who only have the Switch available. FC24 is miles better on next gen consoles, and I don't think the Switch version is a replacement for the PS5 or Xbox Series versions. When it comes to competitive multiplayer games, it has to feel good to play. You don't want to miss a pass because of input delay, or maybe make a last ditch tackle in the box only to give away a penalty. A recent bad example of this is Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch. The game would drop frames left, right and centre, and it looks horrendous. But I'm happy to say that FC24 runs very smoothly on the Switch during gameplay. I definitely had to get used to the slower play at 30 FPS, and gave myself that extra bit of time to play a pass, but I never felt like the inputs were delayed too much, and while I haven't analysed the frame rates of the gameplay, I didn't notice many stutters that would have ruined my experience. Ultimate Team is where I spend pretty much all of my time in FC24, and it's great to see the same promos and objectives in the Switch version. I've built a decent team while testing out the game, and I think there is plenty of fun to be had on this mode on the Switch. There is no crossplay, so everyone is on the same 30 FPS playing field, and even though I'm in the lower divisions, I found myself beating people rather comfortably, and I was able to play how I wanted to play. Tiki-taka passing, running down the byline and passing it into the box. This will be the one and only comparison to the PS5 version, but I was doing all the same things in this Ultimate Team as I was in the PS5, and it's more than playable here. Where it kind of failed, however, are the menus. The previous FIFA games have always had slow menus, and it's one of the reasons why I hated how the later FIFAs got very menu heavy with SBCs, moments and things like that. I do think that you can have fun playing Ultimate Team on the Switch, but if you want to grind out the menus to build a team, it will get annoying very fast, because for every menu you open or different tab you change, the game stutters. Sometimes inputs don't register and you have to double press the button, and overall I hated how the menus felt in Ultimate Team. They're already slow enough on PS5, and they're even worse here. I also worry about the future of Ultimate Team on the Switch, because right now there are 25,000 live transfers, where on next gen consoles there are 5+ million, so I'm not sure if it'll be worth your time trying to compete and build a great team if the player base dies quickly. Where the game shines is the single player suite. You have Kickoff, which is just an exhibition match against another person or the CPU. A manager career where you take control of a team and take them to glory. A player career where you build your own player in an RPG light mode. Pro clubs, which I couldn't test because I have no friends to play with on the Switch. And my favourite, Volta, which is similar to FIFA Street if you've ever played. I will admit, I haven't properly played a single player mode in a FIFA game in about 10 years. I think most people moved on to Ultimate Team and never looked back. I tested out all these modes for a bit, and the game is the best here, especially in Volta. In this mode, you build your own character, leveling them up and putting skill points into different stats to build your perfect player. Right now there is a mode where you can play against a CPU which is timed, and the rest of Volta modes are multiplayer, and the problem here is that finding a game is nearly impossible. I sat in lobbies queuing until the game kicked me out, and I managed to find one more player before the lobby was disbanded. I was very disappointed in this because when I played against the CPU, I had so much fun. First, Volta runs really smoothly because there's less players on the pitch, so everything felt more responsive. And I love doing skill moves in EAFC 24. It also reminds me of FIFA Street, which I grew up playing, so there is a bit of nostalgia there. Player and manager careers are quite deep too. I spent most of my time in the player career, and this had plenty of features. First, you build your character, choose your team, and then the fun begins. You level up your character by playing games and doing training drills, and in the background you can do random activities like going to yoga or donating to a charity that will improve different stats on your character. There's also a skill tree where you can put your points into different stats to build a player to best suit their position, and this is where FC24 is at its best. I won't be playing any more single player modes once I'm done with this review, but I enjoyed what I played of them, and if people want to build a player or manage a team, then this is a great place to do it because you can dip in for a game or two a night and play it casually. I never played the legacy versions of FIFA because I didn't want to shell out money for a lackluster version of the game. But I can safely say that if you only have a Nintendo Switch and have a craving for a full-fledged football game, then EAFC is worth every penny. Yeah, it might look a bit ugly, some of the menus are annoyingly slow, but when you're in game, it's an impressively playable handheld version of the game. As a competitive multiplayer game, there is fun to be had, but I do worry about the longevity of Ultimate Team, and it was a shame that I struggle to find any games in Volta. However, as a single player version of FC24, it's pretty great. The single player suffers from the same problems like slow menus and sometimes not looking the greatest, but the portability factor makes a huge difference when playing through a career mode or Volta, and that's why I liked it. Thanks for watching, let me know what you think of EAFC 24 on the Switch. While I was playing through Ultimate Team, I managed to pack Messi. Unfortunately, he's untradeable and I will be returned to the PlayStation 5 version, so I won't get to use him. But if you've played Ultimate Team, what's your best pack pull, because Messi is mine, but I won't be able to use him. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next video.